turbo surge. Alright, I'm gonna need some help on this one. We need to get some adrenaline going. I'm gonna need you to put this video on pause. Go sit your ass down in front of your computer. Go hook up your phone to your Apple CarPlay, to your computer, to your subwoofers, to some sort of a sound system. Don't just play this on your phone. And turn it up!
Baby, hold my hand, driving in a fast car. No clue now where we are. Baby, hold my hand, driving in a fast car. No clue now where we are. Baby, hold my hand. Baby, hold my hand. Baby, hold my hand. Baby, hold my hand.
Flip your ass on stage.
Okay, we're back. Our friend Diego back to party. Hope you had a great holiday. And now it's time to get back to work. We got some miles on it. It ran, it worked. But even without a wastegate, didn't blow anything up. But man, it spewed oil everywhere. I mean, everywhere. All over the engine bay, all over the hood. Just, and other than that, get the wastegate on it. I mean, she's really close. So, but I tell you what, it sounds amazing. No, not gonna put a blow-off valve on it. Just gonna run it. That sound is nuts. All right, hopefully this is the last time we are underneath here. More than likely not going to be, but I picked up another transmission. It's in. Could not find parts to repair the W58. So maybe they're out there hiding somewhere. I could not figure it out, but it is all back together. About to throw it on the floor, fire it up.
Like I said, JJ, I promise, man. I'll be nice to it. I'm not gonna blow it up. I'm gonna try very hard not to.
We'll see.
I'm
We'll
so
see.
excited.
It's so hard to do. But Chase approves.
I approve.
Oh my god! Oh my god, did you hear that? Oh my god! Dude, listen to that thing! No way. There's no way it works. How can it work? You gotta be kidding me. It's so freaking mean. The freaking turbo surge. I can't be good for it, but oh, it sounds amazing. Freaking insanity. Chase is behind me now. We're just heading back to my place to give it another look over and just make sure it's good to go. He's going to take it home tonight, but there's more to do on it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it's worked out this good so far. So it's music to my ears. So, oh, I love it. Wastegate detail here, coming right off the turbo housing, just a little angle right into our wastegate. Plumbing off of the turbo, and I'm doing this because this should give me a little bit of margin. Theoretically, I should have a higher boost number here, which in the end is going to result in a lower final boost to the manifold. So boost pressure gauge is plumbed right off the intake manifold plenum. So wastegate again. Kind of mounted there on the bottom side. It'll work. All right, so what we're gonna do, fire this thing up and see what we have for a leak. And cold start. vacuum, oil pressure. All right, now I've got nothing pouring out. Let's let her run and get warmed up. We'll see what she does. What does that mean? That's not good. That is coming out of the timing area weep hole, which could mean a crank seal, could mean maybe a cam seal. Dude, that's not what we want. And that's a pretty good leak. That's just at idle. So after, it really didn't become apparent until you shut it down. And so that makes sense. It's spraying and getting blown all over the place underneath the timing cover. You shut it down, then it just dribbles out here. So, all right. Well, let's see what we can do about that. 5 steps forward, 2 steps back. Here's what happened. So my drain is good. This is my turbo drain. You know, come off the turbo over here. It runs down and it tees into, you have a crankcase breather port right here. And then you also have one down there that goes into the block. All right, so this is all wide together. This is doing what it's supposed to do. Where I screwed up. When you take an NA engine, put boost to it, what happens? Once you go under boost, you build up excessive crankcase pressure. Now for a boosted application, that is normal, but this thing wasn't designed to be boosted. So what happens is you overpressurize the crankcase. And that was the first thing that I noticed when I came and picked the car up. Your dead giveaway is your dipstick. If your dipstick is blown out of its tube, it's in there right now, but when I got to the car, after we drove it a little bit, that stick was pushed out. So that's your number one sign that you overpressurized the crankcase. And in certain instances, you'll be lucky nothing will happen. But in this case, I think we blew out the crank seal. So I'm going to find out which one it is. We'll get that taken care of. But to remedy that, this engine from the factory does not have a PCV system, positive crankcase ventilation. But it does have breathers ports, and it allows the crankcase to breathe. But all I did was basically disable those ports, put a breather on top of each valve cover, one there and one there. I had to bring this one up. So now our crankcase can breathe. Now we can safely put boost to it. But now I've got to deal with the issue that I've created. We'll get it. And I'm sure you've heard about the bad things that can happen when you degrease your engine, right? Everybody's heard about that. You never want to soak your engine down with water. You want to hand wipe it, blah, 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 blah. Well, you know, I don't usually follow those recommendations, and this is what I get when I do that. So no harm, no foul. It's just water on top of the spark plug, so I had a misfire. So we'll get all that sucked out of there. Okay, here we go. You want to see something cool? You want to see something really freaking cool? Okay, we have crankshaft gear, balance shaft, tensioner up there, and then your 2 camshaft sprockets, right? All of these items rotate. They all go into the engine, internal engine, in some way, shape, or form, except for the tensioner. That does not. So these 4 pulleys, these 4 components, have seals to contain the oil inside the engine. Going on to the forums, of course, those forums are your number one tool. Looking around, a lot of issues with the crank seal blowing out, but I believe that was on the 2JZ engine. They had a lot of issues. I didn't see hardly anything for issues on the 7M. But just start, pull it apart, start looking close. Kind of hard to see what's going on back in here, but everything feels pretty good back there. But look at this. Look at this. You see that? That's your oil seal for the balance shaft. I just blew the oil seal out of it. That is unbelievably cool. All I got to do is shove that bad boy back in there. Hopefully it didn't damage it. But there's one way to find out. I'm not going to tear all this apart and do a timing job on it. So we're going to drive that bad boy back in there and see what happens. So there's your oil leak. Crankcase pressure. Gets you every time. Yeah, what do we got? We got a Diego that runs and drives. That's what we got. Guess who's back? It's just water spots on the windshield. No, it is not spewing oil. This is freaking amazing. No boost yet. No boost. Going easy. Baby steps here. That is so amazing sticking out of the hood. Alright, so just thinking about the crankcase breather. What I did just to be safe. So just went and got one of those, oh, it's an old school, you know, like a Chevy small block breather cap with a valve cover. So just pulled out the OEM cap, stuck in this one. It's got a big grommet on it, shoved it in there. Drove it all around. No big leaks. Big stuff is taken care of. This is awesome. I need to get one of these. Hit 10 psi there. I should not do that. How to test your wastegate. Took old Diego for a drive and she's making too much boost. I want it to be right around 5 or 6 psi. It's coming all the way up to 10. I don't like that. So we haven't done any other supporting mods, no injectors, no fuel pump, no nothing. Just bolted on that turbo. So I'm going to go really easy on it. 5 psi is all we want. Here's our wastegate. Now what happens, the way these things work is pretty basic. There's a little rubber diaphragm inside here, and it senses your manifold pressure, your boost pressure right here. When boost comes up, air goes into this guy, it presses down on this diaphragm, which in turn presses down on this plunger. It makes the plunger go down, and your exhaust, your drive pressure for the turbo will escape here. So, and that's how it maintains boost. So what we're going to do is check this guy real quick. I just have an air compressor with a regulator and a little gauge hooked up. So we're going to put some air to it. We're going to see at what point this starts moving. There it goes. And what is that? That's about 10 psi. The right way to fix this is you replace the spring inside your wastegate. But I don't have another spring, so what are we going to do? I'm just going to cut that spring. Come on, what do you think I am, made of money?
Nice car. What's the retail on one of those?
More than you can afford, pal. Ferrari.
Smoke.